AITA. Am I the a-hole for telling this girl that she's not a parent if she's had a miscarriage but not a kid? I probably sound like an a-hole, but hear me out. I'm an admin of a local Facebook group for parent meet UPS and kid activities. People have to answer how old their kids are, and what neighborhood they live in before they can join the group. It's for parents with children of any age, we just have to make sure they have children. A girl tries to join the group and says she has one angel baby. There are plenty of moms and dads in the group who have lost children and we welcome them, but then I look on this girl's profile and it looks like she had a miscarriage when she was 7 weeks pregnant, and has no other children. I get that that's very traumatic and sad, but she's not a parent. It'd be one thing if she had a born child that died, then we'd let her in, but a miscarriage and no other kids doesn't count as being a parent. I didn't say that to her though, just declined the request and moved on. A few days later she tried to join again and I declined her once again. Then this morning she tried again and I just blocked her from the group. Then I get a message from her asking why she hasn't been added. Not wanting to be rude, I asked if she had children. She said yes. I asked how old. She said he died when he was 7 weeks old. I played dumb a little and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, that must have been so tough. I know people who have lost their infants too and it's absolutely heartbreaking." She replies, "Well, I was 7 weeks pregnant, but it still counts because life begins at conception." Then I asked if she had any other children. She said no, so I told her she probably wouldn't be interested in our group because it's for parents to meet up and have play dates and such. Then she said, "I'm a parent. My child died." And I said I was sorry, but I had to respectfully disagree that a miscarriage with no other children counts as being a parent, but that I could direct her to some pregnancy loss support groups that sometimes do meetups, if she was interested in that. She went off on me and said how I dare I tell her she's not a mom, she carried that baby inside her for 7 weeks, not technically true but whatever, and she loved that baby as much as she'd have loved it if it had been born, and starts spouting off all these pro-life statements, and I'm not here to debate abortion or anything, but I don't think I was wrong in telling her she's not a parent, and she can't join a parenting group if she doesn't have a child, living or dead. The child simply never came to exist outside her womb. I'm sure she has some issues stemming from her miscarriage, and of course that's a very traumatic thing to have happen, but I still don't think that makes her a parent. And I tried to be nice. It's not like I reached out to her to tell her she's not a parent, she messaged me. So am I an a-hole? No, you are definitely not the a-hole. Mothers have children. They don't have to be your biological offspring, adoption, and you don't have to be their legal guardian, but if you don't care in a motherly way for a human child, I don't think you are a mother. Ignoring the mother discrepancy, it sounds like you were reasonable and kind in your response, and this person is going through a lot and lashing out. You're not the a-hole for the way you acted, either. I don't think you're an a-hole. I don't understand why she would want to join a parent/child meetup group when she doesn't have a child. It seems like it would be painful for her. She's trouble/drama. Don't let her guilt trip you. For your group's sake, keep her out. Not an a-hole, but out of curiosity, if her child had been born and died a couple months later, and she had no other kids, it sounds like you would let her into the group. Am I reading that right? I get the difference between losing a child and having a miscarriage, but it seems like if she doesn't have any living children, regardless of when she lost them, your Facebook group wouldn't be a good fit for her. Like my mom has kids, but we're all in our late 20s and 30s, so she's a parent, but not a good fit for your group either. Seems like you can sidestep the whole "what's a parent" debate, and just say it's a local group for people raising children between X and Y ages. I don't think you're the a-hole. She's obviously traumatized and that's very sad, but it's not your job to fix that for her, plus that could make things super weird for other people in the group. Depending on how you worded it, there's potential you handled it like an a-hole, but just the situation alone doesn't make you an a-hole. Not the a-hole, she sounds obnoxious though, and was probably just looking to bum people out and get sympathy. There are other places for her to do that. You handled it well. I don't think you're an a-hole at all. A loss of a child in any sense at any time is traumatic. You did right by giving her ideas for support groups. Why would she want to join a Playdate FB group if she didn't have children to participate? She sounds toxic and you dodged a bullet. I was really ready to come in here guns blazing to call you an a-hole, but you're really not. Sorry she's experiencing this, and I would probably personally not use the phrase not a parent, but you're in the right here. She doesn't have living children, she never had a breathing child. I can't imagine your group being anything except painful for her, and I can't imagine what she would contribute. Why would you let her in if she had a baby that was born and died after a couple of weeks, if the group is there for play dates? It doesn't seem to make sense if you don't have a living child. Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect her to join in on the play dates, but then at least she'd be considered a parent, having had a real living child. No. You're not the a-hole. She's just looking for a group to vent to, and get all riled up about her miscarriage so she doesn't feel alone. Your group is not the group for that. There are groups for that, but she's looking in the wrong place with your group. I have 2 little ones, and someone joined our group to solely talk about how lucky and blessed we are, and to talk about how sad she is that she doesn't have what we have, etc. etc. It was incredibly uncomfortable. It turned from playdates and milestones, to having to focus on the mom who had a miscarriage, and tell her how sorry we were. We basically had to stop even talking about our kids or playdates, and whatnot until she left. Don't do that. She does not belong. It's unfortunate, but she needs a group that is in line with her situation. You aren't wrong, but that doesn't mean you aren't the a-hole. I get that that's very traumatic and sad, but she's not a parent. It'd be one thing if she had a born child that died, then we'd let her in, but a miscarriage and no other kids doesn't count as being a parent. These are awfully puzzling hairs to split. If you allow parents with no children because they've died, other than the technicality of the definition, what's the difference here? Put differently, how would this woman be functionally different than a parent who lost children who died? No. If it were a discussion group, then yes, but if it is a meetup group, there isn't really any reason for her to be there. Not the a-hole. I think it's a question of semantics. What is a parent? That touches on a very painful, personal topic. Perhaps consider rephrasing the group's description, to reflect that what you are looking for is people who are currently parenting a child. Not even a little. That's worse than people saying they're a parent because they have pets, because at least those people have something tangible. Dude. So if her only child got born, then died, you'd let her in? Huge a-hole, man. Maybe you are just moderating the rules. But that's a fucked up rule. You either let people in who don't have any living children, or you don't. Don't make some arbitrary rule that the kid had to die after being ejected from the womb. That's fucked up. Or did you mean that other members have had children pass away, but still have living children who participate? If so, I'm the a-hole for ranting on you. Add on. I read through some other comments, including one of yours. I fully respect that you'd allow the lady whose child died, continue to see her new acquaintances. But, I'm still pretty stumped on how this can't be compared to the applicant. She probably wants to be around children. Maybe meet friends for support. Sure, there are other groups she can reach out to. But I'm still not convinced that you took the right path. I don't think you meant to be the a-hole, but I guess I don't really see why it was necessary to go there at all. Why not just stick with, "Sorry, it sounds like this isn't the group for you," rather than getting into a debate with her about whether she's really a parent or not? Then just decline to engage further. You already blocked her, so why was it necessary to keep the conversation going past that point? I don't believe you're the a-hole. I lost my child when I was 5 months pregnant, and I have feelings about Mother's Day, but that's my cross to bear, as they say. It seems like she is still processing her loss, which is understandable. That being said, it appears that you denied her request with tact. You are not the a-hole, in my opinion.